The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Thitima Phansri.
Chapter 20. The Trail of Potter. Tom soon began to wonder why his longed-for holiday was not exciting as he had hoped. A circus came. After it had gone, the boys had a circus of their own in 10 miles of Orac. The price of admission was 3 pence for boys and 2 for girls. After 3 days, their circus was given up. There were some boys and girls parties, but they were so few and delightful that they only made the emptiness between harder to bear. Becky Dasher was away with her parents, and so there was no bright side to life anywhere. Tom fell ill. When he had recovered, he wandered down the street and found Jim Hollis acting as judge in the court composed of children. He was trying a cat for murder in the presence of her victim, a bird. Murder was the chief subject of conversation in the village, for the murder trial came on in court. Tom took Huck aside to have a talk with him. It would be a relief to unseal his tongue. Moreover, he wanted to assure himself that Huck has not betrayed the secret. Huck, have you ever told anybody about that? About what? You know. Oh, of course, I haven't. Huck, they couldn't force you to tell, could they? Force me to tell? Why, if I wanted that half-breed devil to kill me, they could force me to tell. As twilight drew on, they found themselves hanging about the neighborhood of the little prison, and they did as they had often done before. They gave Potter some tobacco and matches through the bar. They felt very cowardly and treacherous when Potter said, "You've been very good to me, boys. I often said to myself, I used to man all the boys' kites and things, and show them the best fishing places, and befriend them when I could, and now they've forgotten me when I'm in trouble. But Tom hasn't, and Huck hasn't. Shake hands. You're welcome to the bar, but mine's too big. Little hand and weak, but they help me a lot, and they help me more if they could." Tom went home miserable, and his dream that night were full of horrors. The next day and the day after he hung about the court. At the end of the second day, the village talk was that Redskin Joe evidence stood firm and unshaking, and that was not the slightest doubt what the jury verdict would be. Tom was out late that night and came to bed through the window. He was in a state of great excitement. It was hours before he got to sleep. All the village flocked to the court the next morning, for this was to be the great day. After a long wait, the jury took their places. Soon afterward, Potter, pale and timid, was brought in the seated where all curious eye could stare at him. No less noticeable was Red-Skin Joe's evil face. Then the judge and the sheriff arrived, the usual whispering among the lawyer and the gathering together of papers followed. This detail and the accompanying delay give an expressive sense of expectation. Now a witness was called who said that he found Potter watching in a stream at an early hour on the morning when the murder was discovered and that he immediately crept away. After some questioning, the lawyer for the prosecution said, Examine the witness. The lawyer for the defense said, I have no question to ask him. The next witness described the finding of the knife near the body. The lawyer for the prosecution said, Examine the witness. I have no question to ask him. Potter's lawyer replied. A third witness swore that he has often seen the knife in Potter's possession. Examine the witness. Potter's lawyer refused to question him. The face of the audience began to show annoyance. Did this lawyer mean to throw away the prisoner's life without an effort to save him? Every tale of what occurred in the graveyard that memorable morning was described by trustworthy witnesses, but none of them was cross-examined by Peter's lawyer. The lawyer for the prosecution now says, by the oath of citizens whose worth is above suspicion, we have shown beyond all possibility of doubt that this awful crime was committed by the prisoner. A groan escaped from Potter, and there was a painful silence in court. The lawyer for the defense rose and addressed the judge. Your Honor, in our remark at the opening of the trial, we show that we intended to prove that the prisoner disfaithful, this while under the influence of drink. We have changed our mind. We shall not offer this excuse. Turning to the clerk, he said, Call Tom Sawyer. Everyone in court looked was amazed and puzzled. Tom, looking rather frightened, rose and took his place upon the stand. He swore the oath. Thomas Sawyer, where were you on the 17th of June? About the hour of midnight. Tom glanced at Red-Skin Joe's iron face, and his tongue refused to move. The audience listened breathless, but the words would not come. After a few moments, however, the boy got a little of his strength back, and he managed to put enough of it into his voice to make part of the court hear. In the graveyard. A trifle louder, please. Don't be afraid. You were in the graveyard. A scornful smile passed across the Skinjo's face. Were you anywhere near House William grave? Yes, sir. Speak up a trifle louder. How near were you? As near as I am to you. Were you hidden or not? Hidden. Where? Behind the trees, on the edge of the grave. Redskin Joe gave a slight start. Did you carry anything there with you? Tom hesitated and looked confused. Speak out. My boys, what did you take there? Only a dead cat. There was some laughter, which the judge checked. We shall produce the remains of that cat as evidence. Now, my boys, tell us everything that's occurred. Tell it in your own way. Don't omit anything, and don't be afraid.